The dandelion, to some, a medicine, a food, it can even be used to make wine. But to others, a menace, a pest, a weed that multiplies with just the slightest breeze. For those who have had enough, we want to put some home remedies to get rid of them and other weeds into action. Now, to get ready to tackle this project, we're going to take a quick stop in here at the grocery store and get a couple things that we need to take care of some of these dandelions, and then we'll be hitting the lawn. The good news, you probably have many of these things at home already, but let's assume you don't. We're here to grab some dish soap, which I'll admit I have some questions about, some rubbing alcohol, and finally, some vinegar. So how much does it all cost? Relatively cheap solutions, only $5 altogether. But what if they don't work? I want to be ready. Just in case the alcohol, the dish soap, or even the vinegar don't work, we're going to make one more stop. We're here at Lowe's, and we're going to pick up one other piece of equipment that's a surefire way to get rid of dandelions, but it is a lot more work. Just for fun, we went ahead and got the big tool as well, but the cost is bigger too. Total price tag, $30. Now before we get down to work, I'm gonna change, get into some more comfortable clothes, and then we'll get outside. All right, now that we're all set, let's get some water boiling and then we'll get started. Our first remedy is actually free. We just need boiling water. The water is on the stove, and then, while this experiment clearly isn't following science fair regulations, I wanted to keep track of where I was going to work. Our water is almost ready, so I'm getting the vinegar into our spray bottle. All right, let's go. We have to be quick and careful because it's still supposed to be boiling when it actually hits the dandelion. The dandelion and grass fell almost immediately, and for those who say dandelions are great food, it's actually pretty crazy. It smells a lot like there's spinach cooking over here in these dandelions, so this will be an interesting one to watch. Definitely a lot of work just for one little plant. And wow, did the boiling water work or what? The problem, it killed everything it touched, so probably not the best idea for spot treating your lawn. On to the vinegar. While this took a couple more days to really take effect, the leaves turned brown and many parts of the plant did die, but some flowers still opened up. It did have an effect on the grass around it, but not nearly as much damage as the boiling water. And the rubbing alcohol, I really gave the whole area a good spray and even dumped some right on a few weeds. The shocker, it really didn't do much harm right away. It wasn't until about day 4 or 5 that the weeds started to die. But towards the end, they were pretty crunchy and brown. Finally, the soapy water. It had very little impact, if any. A week later, you can't even tell we did anything. Now, if you've got more time or just like getting dirty, there is a tried and true method. You can dig out the dandelions, but because they have tap roots, you've got to work hard. The roots can be up to 10 inches long. You can see here where mine are actually broken off a couple inches down, which means the weeds can actually grow back. And now if you don't want to go through all that headache, you can shell out the extra cash and use something like this, but first let's just see how well it's going to work. I'll admit, I was surprised at how well this worked and how much fun it was, but overall it still broke off the roots. But at least there are a few dandelions gone from the yard.